So, Justin, coaches tend to try and keep the emotions down on the sidelines, but what was going through your mind when you saw that ball punched out at the goal line?
Uh, Great play, great individual play, phenomenal individual play. Talked about it after the game, and then there's obviously some things that we needed to fix on the drive.
The emotional part of it, though. I mean, did your heart jump seeing something like that? Because you don't see plays like that very often.
No, it's yeah. I mean, you love seeing the players make great plays. Everybody does, coaches included. So yeah, that was a phenomenal play. I mean, that's really what went through my head because the guy's momentum and what had happened on the play, it's going to be hard to stop tackling. That's the last thing that you can possibly do. And he didn't quit on it. He did not quit on the play. And Paco caused a fumble against Oregon State with a similar effort where the tackle was already made. The guy's going to the ground, but he continued to play the play. And as the guy's going to the ground, he forced the ball out. And so he never stopped playing. I think that's the thing that resonates and what we showed in the meeting. It's just the play's never over.
Justin, after the game the other day, you talked about all the things you guys need to do better.
Mm-hmm.
But you're 5-2. You can talk about the things you think you've done well to get you to this point.
Yeah, found a way in not playing our best football, and that's a great quality when you find a way to win when it's not your best football. And so the guys have done that, and they continued to play. Case in point, that final drive. So they're competing really hard. I love the effort that we're bringing, and we just got to play cleaner in all three phases, and then we'll start to see better and better football and our best football, which I believe is in front of us. I have no doubt about that.
Is that a big change from a year ago when you were in so many close games that you couldn't get over the top on?
Yeah, I mean, just again, it has to do with ultimately the result is a function of the individual plays throughout the game, and we're making enough plays to win, and we can make more, and that's where we are aiming to be. But for the guys to continue to play, and again, even after we caused the fumble, you got a 4-minute situation there to run the ball, and we did that. Almost were able to finish with the ball, not quite, but that was a big series as well. So yeah, I think it's just finding a way. I think that's the number one thing, and I appreciate about the team and their practice energy and the energy in meetings has been phenomenal. Couldn't ask for more. So really looking forward to watching us improve the second half of the year.
You're 1 win away from your 6 wins to get you bowl eligible. That's not been the ceiling of the goals you have for this year. But how good does it make you feel that you're at the point you're at now, and it's still October?
Well, winning a bowl game's one of the goals we have, and so to be able to get an opportunity, yes, that's a big deal. But we have a lot of football left to play. We're focused on playing our best ball, and that's what we're talking about in meetings and practice. But yeah, I mean, it's not the ultimate goal, but it's it's something that we aspire to, is winning bowl games and really being at the best bowl game possible. That's what's most important.
You've been asked about finishing games and how the team came out on the wrong end too much in recent years, and you've been on the right end a couple of times this year. Is there a mentality behind that, a sort of a confidence level, or is it just sometimes a matter of breaks?
Well, I think you have to do everything in your power to create your own breaks. We've talked about this before. There's always going to be momentum in the game. You want to carry that. There's going to be adversity in the game. We had adversity, and then there's the unknown, which is the way the ball bounces. But you don't want to leave it up to chance. You don't want to put the game in the officials' hands, which there's a couple plays where we did that. And yeah, does the ball bounce funny sometimes? Sure it does, but you gotta control as many things as you possibly can so you don't leave the outcome up to a bouncing ball.
What are the qualities of a team who's able to make the important plays at most?
Yeah, I think confidence, effort, toughness. I think that physical, mental, emotional toughness, I think that's a big part of it. And creating confidence through your performance on the field. And once you make one of those plays, like Paco's a good example, because he didn't play a perfect game, but he's shown he's made big plays before. And once you make one, you have a better opportunity to make the next one. So I think that's a big part of it.
What distinguishes his runs?
Boy, big, athletic, hard to tackle, runs their offense really well. He's fast. He can throw the ball. He's a weapon for sure.
Is there anybody you've played in the first 7 games who's somewhat similar to him?
When you combine the size, speed, athleticism, throwing, probably not. We've seen some great quarterbacks, but I mean, this guy is big and athletic, and he can do a lot. So he's a weapon.
In terms of the run defense, he's going to run a lot too. When you mentioned the improvement along the lines of the run defense, is it simply doing those same drills harder, or is the process more recalibrating? Can you walk us through what goes into
Yeah,
that?
it's not harder. Our guys practice really hard. We were just talking about this. What we need to be able to do is transfer what we do in practice to games more often. And when they do run the quarterback, it's a different set of problems. We probably talked about this before because now the math is different. You know, it's 11 on 11, not 11 on 10. You know, when the quarterback is not a run threat, you have extra guy, so to speak, somewhere. How you use that guy is, different by each call and scheme. But when they involve the quarterback, they add a number. And so that's a challenge in itself, and then you add the physical ability he has. So,
Operationally, 2 straight Friday games. Is there anything you could take from the routine of leading up to North Carolina, up to Virginia Tech, or is it really hindered by that bye week beforehand?
not at all. I mean, the only, other than the class schedules, we had small adjustments last week for class schedules, like on Thursday, because the Tuesday, Thursday class schedules are different than Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So that changed us a little bit. Other than that, we just move everything back a day. And so this week, your Sunday was our Monday. So very, very simple that way.
Can you talk about Jaron in recent weeks? I'm wondering, he hasn't been as efficient. Some of that, I'm presuming, is maybe your run game continues to struggle. Some of it's the opponents are getting better. How do you evaluate how he's playing and how you can get him back to where he was early?
There's some things he's doing better, and it may not show up statistically. I think he's getting better every week. The efficiency he can do, there's some things maybe decision-wise where he goes with the ball that he can continue to improve on, which he will. We also have to catch it. If we catch it better, we'd love to catch it perfectly. We don't want any drops, but even if we just catch, I think we had 6 drops last week, so those numbers statistically probably look different. And so I'm encouraged by the way the guys are working, and we'll catch those balls. And then the run game is always the best weapon for a pass game is the run game.
How much is that hurting him that he doesn't, that you guys haven't been able to do that?
Well, we've done it some. We just need to do it more consistently, for sure. And he's doing some very, very good things. I mean, the third down throws that he made in the game, there's a few of them, more than a few. He threw some, he threw some elite balls in the game. And again, there's things that he needs to do better. But, the statistics don't always bear it out. But we certainly can do better as an offense. Yeah.
What's been your overall evaluation of the defensive front? You guys had to make up for some losses up there. What's been your overall evaluation of their?
I thought the guys rushed better, especially on the interior, than we had this season. TJ Bowlers really showed up in the 4-man pass rush, which was good to see. We didn't get him on the ground, however, we affected him more often from interior pass rush. We got to the quarterback, we had a sack. Unfortunately, we let our emotions get the best of us and got a penalty, which was a critical penalty. I think those guys are getting better. I think Aiden Kiana-Ina, really each week kind of know what we're getting. He's a good, solid player. It's hard to block. He made some really good plays on some counter runs that don't necessarily show up in the stat sheet, but he played really well. And like I said, TJ showed up, and I thought there was a couple the staff did a good job on a couple third downs, creating a little bit different looks on how to get the quarterback off his spot, and Cade chased him down once or twice. So we're getting better for sure, and I think we're always looking at ways like what can we do, where our strengths lie, and what do we need to do to adapt and adjust so we can affect the quarterback in the pass game.
Speaking